All of you, welcome back to yet another project video. In this project, you're going to build your own blockchain real estate DApp where user can list their property for buying and selling. So if anybody wants to create property, they can click here after connecting their wallet, click on the create. They will come back to the create page. They can pick the image of their property. So I will go with this particular property, and here I have to simply upload the image, and this image will be uploaded to the IPFS. And our property image is successfully uploaded. Now I have to give the name. So I'll say you can pick here whatever name you want to your property. I'll pick the category. So it's going to be a commercial one. And here I can give the description. So I can simply copy the text from here and I can simply paste it. And I can give the price, whatever price I want to give to my property. So I'll go with something like 200. Then I have to give the address of the property. So I'll take this dummy text, and I can also have a preview. So I can click on the preview, and that's how it's going to look. So we have the background, and here we have the name and the price of our property. So I can simply click on this create, and it's going to create our property. So here MetaMask will pop up and we are listing our property. So simply click on this confirm, and the transaction is successfully, and you have created your own property. So if you come back here right now with this particular account, I have created all of this property. So currently I have listed, so I own the entire property. If you come back to all properties, you will see all of this property which you own. So that's how you can create your own property. If you come back to the own property, here you will find an option to update your property. For example, I want to update this one. So I can simply click on this update, and here I will have the options to update the entire information about this property. So if I want to change the image of the property, I can simply do that. So I can simply pick this image, I can redeploy the image, and it will go to the IPFS, and here the image deploys successfully. I can pick the name, so I will go with this one. I can pick the category, so I can pick in any category. So this time I'm going to change this to farm housing, and I can give the description, and I can set the address. Remember, we are not changing the price. Price is going to be the constant. So I'll provide this address, and I'm going to simply click on update, and it's going to make a call to our smart contract. Here it's calling. Click on this confirm. And once the transaction will complete, you will be redirected to your author page, and there you will find the property we have updated. If you click on that, you will go to the property details page, and here you will find all the information regarding the property. Here we have some static image, but currently we are allowing user to upload only one image, but you can also allow them to upload multiple image. So here we have the property, and here you will find the stats. So the name of the property, the ID of the property, you can able to see that this is the creator. You can able to see all the comments which this particular property will get if you see the details of the property. So name, description, the product ID, and the category that you will find. And if you come back to the user interest, so right now no user has any interest in this particular property, so they can simply give comment. So click on this comment, and they can type their comment about the property, and they can click on this add review. And this is going to call our smart contract, and is going to add the review in this particular property. So let's confirm that, and here the transaction went through, and we have given our review successfully. So if I close this up, and if I reload the page, you will see that we are fetching the information from our smart contract, and now the review will reflect. So if I click on the comment, you will see we got this review. So if anybody wants to like this particular review, or you want to like it, you can do that. So click on this like. It will open your MetaMask, and simply click on confirm, and the transaction is successfully. You have liked this particular review. If you reload the page, you will see you got one like in your review. So it's went to up. So that's how you can give your like, and you can give multiple comments. So right now I cannot buy this particular property because I'm the owner who's created this property, and here you will find all the properties which user have created. If you come back to the home page, this is the entire home page of our application. It looks absolutely wonderful. So we have the header bar, we have the hero section, we have all the property, the recent properties got created here. That's all you will find here. And here we have the information about the property, which you can simply replace all of these texts. So that's all I have covered extensively in the project. So make sure to follow the complete playlist which we have. So that looks wonderful. Here we have the tab. So you can simply go to different tabs, and you can able to filter out all the property. Then we have the top collection section. So you can simply click on this housing collection, office collection, farmhouse collection, and rented collection, which we are also reflecting here. So if I want to see all the property related to housing, I can click on this, and it will take me to the housing category, and there I will find all the property related to housing. If I want to go to office category, and here right now we don't have any property for office, so it's empty. If I come back here, if I go to the farmhouse, you will see right now we have 2 farmhouse categories. If I go back to the commercial, here I have 3 property for commercial. If I go back to country, I have 1 property for country. So it's 100% dynamic. In this section, we are displaying the property which we want to promote as an advertisement. So you can simply change that and you can provide the details. We have this details. You can see this animation looks wonderful. You can go to different property. That looks good. And we have the footer section. So there is tons of things we have. If you come back to the about us section, so that's how about us pages look like. It's really good. If you come back to the explore, in that you will have these 3 pages: activity, creator, explore. So if you click on this activity, you will find all the property got created recently. You can able to see all the details. That's all will reflect here. And here you will find the stats, that how many properties are there, how many reviews we have got, and all the different categories. And if you click here, you will get the most popular category which we have in our project. So if I click on this check now, it will take me here, and this one is the most popular category. So all the logic is extensively explained in the complete playlist. So make sure to follow the complete playlist. You will understand every single thing we have included here in the project. So that's all you will find. From here you can able to see it looks good. So that's what we have. If you come back to the creator, and here we are in the creator page, here you will find all the creators who will create their property and list their property in our marketplace. So right now we only have 1 creator. You can see the worth of property he created in our platform. These are the static data. You can simply remove, and whenever any user will create their account, it will automatically reflect here. So I'm going to create an account and I'm going to show you. So come back to the next page on the explore, and you will come back here. You can able to find all the properties here. So all you have to do is to feed the actual data. So these are the static data which I have already explained in the project. So make sure to follow the complete project. So this is what we have. Now if you come back to the contact, so this is our contact page. That's how it looks. It's absolutely wonderful, and there you will find everything. And here I've given you all the different pages. So if you want to launch it, all you have to do is to modify the code structure, the designing, and you are ready to launch. So if I click on this ranking, here I am. Here you will find all the top property. All you have to do is to simply feed the data. This is all the static data. Now if you go back to the product, here you will find the products, all the different styling. It looks absolutely great. If you go back to the privacy, this is how the privacy page would look like. It's really great. If you come back to the news, this is how the news page would look. It's really great. If you come back to the forum page, so here we have the forum. So we have the search bar, then we have a different component. These are the sub menus, categories, and the comments and the replies, the component we have. If you come back to the connect, this is what we have. This is how the connect page would look like. So these are the static component. And if you go back to the collection, here we have the collection page. Right now there is no collection, it's absolutely empty. If you go back to the blog, this is how the blog page would look like. So we have different posts, user can click and they can go back to the blog detail page. So it looks good. Now if you go back to the blog detail page, this is how the blog detail page would look like. We'll have the category on the right hand side, recent post, and here we have the information about the post. So that's all you will find right up here. Looks wonderful. We have the message box as well. If you come back to the 404, so when the user try to access some route which we don't exist in our backend or in our front end, then we're going to display this 404. Then we have this forget password. So if you want to attach your backend, you can simply allow the user to provide the email and they can receive the password. So you can attach that feature as well. Now we have the login feature as well. So user can simply log in from here and they can get into your application. We also have a sign up page. So you can also allow the user to provide the sign up option. So this is what exactly we have coded in the entire project, and this is the premium template which I'm providing in the project. So make sure to follow the complete project. You will understand the entire logic we have implemented. If you click on this, it will take you to the activity page, and here you will find all of these things. We have the search bar. If you click on this, it's going to open this dynamic component, and you can go back to different pages. So you can create, you can go back to your profile, and here you will are into your profile section. You can click on this, you can click on the share option, and here you will find all the property. Now let me show you if a user wants to create and buy any property, how they can do it. So what I'll do is I'll simply come back here. I'll switch my account. So I'll go back here and I'm going to get into account number 4, clear my MetaMask history. So this is very important. Whenever you switch your account from one account to different account, you have to clear your history. Otherwise the transaction will fail. So here I am right now. This particular user don't own any property. That's why you can see there is no property reflecting here. If you go back to all property, here all the properties are reflecting which is listed in the marketplace. So if I want to purchase, I can simply purchase and that property is going to reflect here. So let's come back here and let's try to purchase this property. So I'll click on this and it will take me to the property detail page, and from here I can able to see all the details, see the pricing, and I can simply purchase the property. So if I want to purchase this property, I have to pay this much fund. I can even like the property, I can give the comments. That's all I can do. So I can simply paste the comment and the comment will be added to this particular property. So let's give the comment and confirm the transaction. So the comment is added successfully in this property. You know the page and you will see the comment is reflecting here. So we got the comment successfully. Now if I want to buy the property, I can simply click on this buy property and it's going to make a call to my smart contract. This much fund I have to pay to the property owner and this property will be transferred to my wallet address. So I simply click on confirm and here the transaction got successfully. Simply reload the page and this time the status will change that you cannot buy your own property because we own the property right now. We have bought just now. If you go back to your account, your profile section, there you will find you own this particular property and now you're getting this option called update. So if you click on that, it will take you here and from here you can able to update the details about the property. You can change the category. That's all you can do. So if you come back here in the home section, that's how it's going to look. It's absolutely wonderful. So every single thing is working fine. User can list their property, they can buy the property, they can give comment, they can like the property. That's all we have extensively covered in this particular playlist. So make sure to follow the complete playlist. You will understand that what logic we have implemented. It will clear all your doubt. In this video, I'll show you that what are the minor update I have done, because some of you have told me that you guys want to use the latest test network of Polygon, and I also talk about the harder upgrade packages. That's all we're going to cover in this. So I hope you guys have got an idea that how our application is working. Let me give you a quick walkthrough one more time. Let me create a property. So if I come back here, I can simply upload a new property. I can simply click this one, click on this. It's going to update the property. So here I'm creating my property. So here uploaded image successfully. I can give the name. So I'll go with this one. I can pick the category, rental. I can give the description. I can give the price. So I will send 3 and I can pick the address and I can confirm the transaction. So this is how I can create a property and I can simply confirm the transaction and the transaction is successful and we have created the property. So right now I have 2 property which I own, but if I go back to the all properties, all these properties are reflecting here. I can buy any property and this property will be transferred to me. So this is what exactly we have completed in the project and it's 100% responsive for all the screen sizes. So if I do the inspect element and you can see that's how it's going to look on our mobile device. So nice. If you click on this, it's going to open this sidebar. You can close that one. You can click on this and it will take you back here in the activity tab. There you will find all the properties. You can see on different screen sizes. You can go back to the home section and that's how it's going to look. Nice. So it's working absolutely fine. Now let's talk about that. What are the minor changes you have to do? That's why I'm recording this video, to let you know that what are the minor changes you have to do to make it compatible with the latest Polygon test network, and what are the changes you have to do in the hardened packages so you can able to follow the complete project. So this is what exactly we have coded in the entire playlist. I hope you guys have followed that. Or you can simply come back to the blockchain coder, go back to the source code section, and there you will find all the project we have built on our channel. So this is the one. Simply click here and you can simply download the starter file and start following the complete playlist. All the assets, everything is given to all of you guys. So simply check the requirement here, which I have already highlighted here. So simply download the starter file, or you can simply take the final source code. In that you will get the exact code. So once you will download the final source code, this is the zip file you will get, or you can simply follow the complete playlist. You will have the same code. So make sure to unzip that. You will get this folder and open this folder in your VS Code. So this is what I will have. So inside the folder, you will have all of this folder. So this is the final source code. This is the code in which I have done the update. And this is the code which we have done the testing while building the entire project. And here we have the starter file. So you can simply download it and start following the complete project. And here we have the premium template. So we are using the premium template in the project, and that's all template is provided here. So all the update I have already done in this particular final code update, and that's what you have to run when you will get the final source code. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simply delete all the packages, because I have already done the installation. So this is will be not there when you will get the final source code. So let me delete this one. So I'm deleting my Next.js, I'm deleting my node modules. I'm going to delete this as well. So I have deleted the Next and node modules. This is the client side and this is the backend part of our smart contract. So in that you will also have this node module. So we have to reinstall everything. I'm going to show you. And here we have the artifact. When we'll deploy our contract, we'll get this artifact, which we have to provide in our client side. So this is exactly what you will get in the final source code. This is the client side and this is the contract. So the very first thing you have to do is you have to check your hard hat version, because in the project we are using hard hat. And this hard hat version which we are using, it's compatible with a specific node version. Right now the hard hat is not compatible with latest node. If you talk about 20, it's compatible with 18 and all the versions. So you have to use exact version of hard hat. Again, I will show you that how you can use remix id for deploying the contract and generating the API, and that's in that way you don't need to use hard hat. I'll show you the both way. But if you are using hard hat for testing, which we have done in the project, then make sure to use this particular version. So open up your terminal. So this is the node version you have to install if you want to work with hard hat. So type node-v. So I'm using 18.12 and it's very much compatible with hard hat at the moment. If you install this, you will not have any issue. If I check the npm version, I can simply do that npm-v. So this is the npm version I'm using, and I would encourage you to use the exact one, because we have done a lot of testing of our contract during the development. So it will give you a better idea that how you have to work with the hard hat, which is a very demandable technology in the industry right now at the moment. So if you have the latest version and old version of node in your system, then simply upgrade or downgrade to this. It will work absolutely fine, and I have already explained in this particular video how you can do that. So this is the first set of requirement we have to fulfill to run the project. So I'm going to clear my terminal. That's the first thing. So after that, we have to get into this particular folder. So right now we are into the main directory. So I'm going to simply take this name called rename, and I'm going to copy the name and I'll type cd, paste the name, hit enter. Now I'm into this particular directory. So first we have to deploy our contract, generate the API, get the address, and that's what we have to provide in our client side. So let's start dealing with the contract first. Now we have to get into our contract folder. So simply type cd contract and hit enter. So right now we are into this particular directory, and now we're going to simply deploy our contract, Polygon test network and localhost. So first we're going to test on localhost using hard hat. So if I come back to the hard hat config file, and this is the configuration I have done. So if you are testing using hard hat, then this is the one which you have to keep it active. But if you are deploying to Polygon MOI, which is the latest test network, then you have to provide these details. Here you have to provide your API key of your wallet which you want to use to deploy, and this is the RPC endpoint of that blockchain. You can literally deploy your contract to any network. Make sure to provide the valid RPC URL and valid private key of your wallet. I'll show you how you can do that. So first we're going to test locally. So I'm going to simply close this one, come back to the script. Inside the deploy, here we have the command. This is the command we have to execute. But before we execute, we have to install the packages, because if you look at the package.json file, we are using hard hat and hard hat toolbox. So I'm going to simply type npmi and it's going to install the package. And here we got our node modules. This process will take a little bit time. It will happen very quickly, so just wait. And finally we have installed the packages. No issue we have. I'm going to simply clear my terminal. Looks good. Now what I have to do, I have successfully installed the package. Now I have to start my local node. So to start that, I have to type npx hard hat node. This will start our local blockchain and it will give you 20 plus account. And by default, hard hat will use this very first account for deploying our contract by default. So if you want to import any one of this account to test locally, you can simply get this private key, copy the private key and come back to the browser, click on the MetaMask, and right now you can see I'm connected with the account number 4. So if I open this, here you will find that I have a bunch of accounts. So account number 1 and account number 2 is my real account, and all of this account which I have imported from hard hat, that these account I have imported. So by default, hard hat will use this very first account, and this account I have already imported in my MetaMask. So simply copy that one, come back here, and you can simply click on this arrow. Here you have the option called add account, import account, and paste your private key which you have copied and click on import. It says that this account is already imported. Yes, I have already imported. So this is the account number 3 I have imported. So it's the 92266. So right now it has this much fund, but the moment I will deploy the contract locally, this fund will went down, because every time whenever we have to make the transaction on the blockchain, we have to pay the gas fee. So this is how you can import account. You can import as many account as you want. I have already imported a lot of accounts in my MetaMask, and that's all reflecting here. So that's the first thing you have to do. Now you can see that this localhost is already configured in my MetaMask. But what if someone doesn't have this? So I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to simply come back here, switch my network, and I'm going to delete this one, because we have the setup in our project which automatically going to configure the network in the browser. So if I go back to my client side, if I go back to the constants, you will see that here we have the network configuration. So I'm going to bring this down, and here we have the network configuration. So if you want to interact with the localhost, you can simply copy this one, and that's what you have to provide here and here. If you want to interact with the base network, simply copy that one, and that's what you have to provide here and here. If you want to do on the Polygon mainnet, testnet, Binance, simply copy this one, and that's what you have to provide here and here. This is one thing you have to do. You can literally deploy to any blockchain, but make sure you have to provide this relevant information. You can call whatever you want, but these informations are very important. You have to give the chain ID of that particular blockchain which you are using. You have to call the name. You can call whatever you want, because this name is going to reflect in your MetaMask. You have to give the currency and symbol and the decimal endpoint, and you have to provide the right RPC URL. And this RPC URL is different for different providers, so make sure you have to get the right one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first test on localhost, then I'm going to test on Polygon. So that's what I'm going to do. So before we come here in the constant, let's deploy our contract. So I'm going to simply close this one and split your terminal. We are in the same folder, the contract. Now we have to run the deploy command. So if you come back to the script, let's close this client side, come back to the script, go to deploy, and here we have the command for deploying to localhost. Simply copy this one, paste here, and hit enter. It's going to compile our contract, and it's going to give you the address. So here we got the address of our contract, and here we got the artifact. Inside the artifact we have this contract. Inside the contract we have this real estate. So this is the API of our contract which we need to interact with our contract in the front end. So first thing, you have to get the address, copy this one, and that's what you have to provide here in the client side. So come back here in the context constants, and that's what you have to provide here. So this is the address, and you will have the same address, because by default Hardhead will always generate this particular address when you will deploy your very first contract. But if you deploy the second contract, it will have a different address. So this is the address we got it. Now we have to simply drag and drop the API. So I'm going to delete this old API, because we got the latest API. And one thing I want to say, whenever you make any changes in the contract, so right now if I come back to the contract, this is the huge contract we have written in the project. So I would encourage you to follow the complete project. It will teach you that how you can build complex algorithm within the smart contract to build applications like this. So whenever you make any changes, even you are removing any symbol or doing any spelling correction, you have to provide the updated API. So we got the updated API. Now what I'm going to do is, I have the API. I'm going to simply take this one, and I'm going to up and drag and drop here in the context. So we got our API. So this is the first thing. Deploy your contract, replace the address, and get your API. So once you're done with that, make sure this should be running. You don't need to stop this. If you stop this, you're not able to interact with the contract and do the transaction. So this should be running. Now we don't need this. We're going to simply clear our terminal, because we got the address, we got the API. Now we have to get into the client side, and we have to start our client. So I'll go back. So I'll type cd ... So I'm into this particular directory. Now I have to get into the client directory. So I'll say cd client, client, hit enter. So right now I'm into the client section, and now I have to install the packages. So we are using so many packages, we have to install all of them. So simply type npm I, and it will install all the packages. So all of the packages, all of the libraries we are using, it's very much compatible with all the requirement which we have to fulfill to run the project. So don't need to make any changes, because these packages we have used, and we have designed the application according to these packages. Some of the latest versions have different configuration, so don't get into the trap. Make sure to download the starter file and start following the complete playlist. So we have successfully installed the application. This looks good. Let's clear the terminal. This should be running. We're not going to start our application yet because we have to do a couple of changes for our IPFS. So close this one. Now we have to come back to the context, go back to constants. So we already done the changes in the address. Now we have to provide our Pinata API key and secret key. You have to get your own. I'm not going to provide because you have to create your account in Pinata, and from there you can generate API key and secret key, which I'm telling you how you can do that. So come back in the application, open a new tab and type Pinata, P-I-N-A, Pinata Cloud. This is a free platform which allow you to create your account and you can able to upload the images to IPFS. So I'm going to say no thank you. I already have my account, so I'm going to simply log in. Make sure if you don't have your account, you have to create an account and then you can simply log into your account. So I'll log in and here I'm back into my dashboard. So once you create an account and successfully log in, you will have a similar interface. Here you will find all the files which you have uploaded to the IPFS. That's all it will reflect here. So you have to create your own API key. So come back to the API key section. Right now I have this particular API key which I have used in the project for uploading. You have to create your own. So click on this new key and here we want to have the access as an admin label. So first thing you have to give the name. So I'll say Real-Estate DApp and I click on this admin because we want to have all the feature in our API. And from here you can set the limit that how many files you want to upload to the IPFS on this particular key. So I want to have the maximum 2000 because this is the free account which I'm using. So you have a limit of 1000. After that the API will not work, so you have to upgrade your account. So this is the maximum limit. Now I can simply click on this generate API and it's going to generate the API and it will give you multiple options to configure in your application. Like you can use JWT and here we have the API key and secret key which we can use in our front end. So simply copy this one, copy, come back to your code and that's what you have to provide, replace here. Simply copy this one and that's what you have to provide here. Again, I'm showing you this code because once I will complete the project, I'm going to delete this code. So it's not going to work. You have to generate your own. So don't think that you can simply pause the video and you can type the exact API key. It will not work because after the tutorial, I'm going to delete this API key. So that's how you have to provide your API key. Once you're done with that, after that, you have to do a check that first we are testing in our localhost. So that's the one we have to provide here. We have already done the delete of our localhost from our MetaMask. So the localhost is not there in our MetaMask. But our application is good enough to configure automatically. So you don't need to type manually. If you want to add network manually, so you have to click on this add network. It will open a new page. You can come back here, click on this add manually, and you have to provide the exact details which we have configured here. Like you have to provide the chain ID, localhost. This is the symbol you have to use. You cannot use the ETH symbol, is going to create a problem. And decimal point, and this is the localhost RPC URL. And this is the dummy explorer I have given, because we cannot able to do the explorer in the localhost and we don't have any explorer for the localhost. So it's automatically going to configure when we'll start our application, or whenever someone will start our application, it will automatically add this in their MetaMask. Update you have to do, get your address, get your Pinata API key, make sure to run your local node. This should be running and we are already into the client folder. Now we are ready to start our application. So simply type npm run dev, hit enter. It's going to start our application on localhost 3000 and come back to the application, close this one and close this one and come back here and paste here. So localhost 3000, hit enter. And here we got our application started. Right now there is no data available in our application. Dummy data, all you have to do is to simply feed the actual data, which I have explained extensively in the project. So make sure to follow that. So everything is looking good. Now if I want to create property, I have to connect my wallet. So the moment I will click on this wallet connect, is going to open this and it will automatically configure the localhost network in our MetaMask. You can see the RPC URL, the chain ID, the Go, that's all it will automatically configure. So all you have to do is to simply click on this approve and it will tell you to switch the network back to localhost, because our contract is deployed locally, because right now we are testing locally. So we have to click on this switch network. And here we have connected successfully. And if you come back to the MetaMask, you will see that we switch back to the localhost. If you come back here, this localhost is as it. So it looks absolutely great. Now let's try to create a property. But before you create a property, you have to click here and you have to clear your MetaMask history. Otherwise the transaction will fail, because this is the weird problem we have whenever we want to switch the account, MetaMask try to keep the history of the previous account, and it create a conflict during the transaction. So you always clear your MetaMask history whenever you do the transaction with a different account. Reload the page. We are logged into the application. Now click on this, and here you will have the option. So click on this create. You can come back to the create page, click on this, pick a property. So I'm going to go with this one. Click on this upload image, and it will load. Just wait. We have uploaded successfully. You can pick the name of the property, you can pick the category, and you can give a description. So I'm going to come back here, and I'll try to click. I'll come back here, and I can get the details. Simply copy this one. I hope you guys have checked this particular project course. Make sure to check that. I'll provide this one. I can give the price something, give the description. I can preview. Looks pretty good. I can click on this create, and it's going to create the property in our contract. So click on this confirm, and here we have created successfully. So this is the only property we have. If I want to update, I can do that very easily. I have already shown you. I can simply switch my account to different account, so I can buy this particular property. Click on the property number 4. I have to clear my MetaMask history, advance, clear, and reload the page. So this time you can see I don't have any property which I own, but the moment I will click on this all property, there is one property available. I can simply come back here. I can give a review. I can give a comment. I have the option of buying the property, so I can give the review first. Let's give add review, and let's make it confirm, and the transaction is completed. So we have successfully given our review, and there is one review is reflecting here. You can easily able to like. Now if I want to buy the property, I can simply do that. So I can simply click on this buy property. Is going to open MetaMask, and this much money I have to pay, and this much fund will be transferred straight away back to that user who listed this property. So click on this confirm, and the transaction got completed, and we have bought the property. So if you go back to your account profile, you will say right now you own this property, and you have the option to update the details. If you go back to the account number 1, the account the property created, so this is the account which we used to create the property, and the fund is transferred successfully to this account. So every single thing is working absolutely fine. I hope you guys have enjoyed the entire project. This is the really powerful project we have built. So that's how you can test locally. Now let me show you that how you can deploy the contract to the Polygon test network, and you can do the testing on the actual test network. And if you want to deploy on the actual mainnet, you can do exactly the same thing. So come back here. I'm going to stop the application. So first thing, I'm going to stop the application from running, delete this one and delete this one. So close this one. So if I open this right now, application is stopped. If I come back to the application, if I reload that, it's not working. So come back to the project, and right now we have two options to deploy your contract. You can use Hardhat for deployment, or you can use the Remix ID. So if I want to use Hardhat for deploying my contract to the Polygon test network, then all I have to do is to provide my private key. In that account, I should have some fund, so I can able to perform the transaction and deploy. So all you have to do is to simply comment this portion, and you have to activate this, and you can literally deploy to any network. All you have to do is to provide the valid RPC URL, and this is how you can get it. So you can come back to this particular website, ARNKRPC. Click on the very first link, and this is the website which will provide you the RPC URL. So if you want to deploy to Binance, you can click here, and here you will find the mainnet RPC URL, and if you go to the testnet, you can simply get this one. So always check your RPC URL when you are deploying and providing in your application, because this changes time to time. So try to find a particular provider which you can use. But we're going to deploy to Polygon, and we have this one, MY network, we're going to use it. So that's the RPC URL you have to provide here, and you have to also provide your private key of your wallet, which account you're going to use for deploying of the contract. That's the only thing you have to do. Don't need to make any changes. If you deploy to any other blockchain, just keep it as it is. There is no problem. So what I'll do, I have to get my private key. So I'll come back here, and I can click on this MetaMask, and I have to switch my account to Polygon MY network, and this network is already configured in my MetaMask. So you can do the manual configuration the way I have explained, but you can also do with the automatic configuration. So you can come back to the client side, constant, and here we have that. So all you have to do is you have to simply copy the name, and that's what you have to provide. Simply copy the name. This application can only interact with the Polygon test network. Same goes with the Mumbai, same goes with the Binance. So whatever you will provide here, the application will only interact in that particular blockchain, not any other blockchain. And user cannot switch their blockchain with a different one. They have to use the exact one. So it's a very good strategy, because sometimes you're not able to deploy all the contract in different blockchain. So you can restrict the user to use a specific blockchain, or you can also give them multiple choice. There is no problem in that. So that's the first thing we have to do. Once we change the network and come back to the MetaMask, and I have to get the account. So I'm going to use this account, because you cannot use the harded account when you are deploying your contract to the Polygon or any other test network. You cannot use the harded account. You have to use the real account. So this is the two account which I have created and I have imported, and it's a real one. I use this to test my contract, but I don't have any real fund in that. So I'm going to use the account number 2, because in that I have enough fund, which is enough for me to deploy my contract. As you can see in this account number 2, I already have enough fund which I can use to deploy my contract. But in your case, if you don't have that fund, you can get it very easily. So click on the new tab and type Polygon Faucet and click on the very first link. Once you will click on that, it will take you to the Polygon technology faucet, and from here you can claim a free faucet. When you will come here for the very first time, it will tell you to join their Discord server. So first you have to authorize, then you have to join their Discord server, then they will allow you to claim free faucet. Right now I'm getting this option for connecting with the Discord. So if I click on that, it will take me on the Discord authorization page, and here I have to authorize myself. So I have already joined the Discord server, so it will be only ask me one time, but in your case you have to do that joining as well. So here I got this option. Now I have to pick the account which I want to receive the faucet. So I'll take this account number 2, or I can go with the account number 1, because this account has enough fund. I'll copy this one. I copy this one. Now I have to come back here, and here I have to change this to POS MOI. Symbol would be same. Here I have to paste the address and click on this submit, and this will transfer 0.2 MATI to my wallet address, which I can use for transaction within the contract, and that's fund is enough for me to do the transaction. Just wait, and here you can see the transaction went through, and this fund will reflect here. So it will reflect. Sometimes it takes a little bit time. You can also verify this transaction on the Poly MOI network. There you will find the transaction is successful, and this much fund is transferred to your wallet. So if I come back here, and you can see this takes a little bit time, and finally we have got the fund. So it's reflecting here. So I'm going to use the account number 1 for deploying. So I'll click on this. I'll go back to the account details, click on the show private key, and this private key you should never show to anyone, because if anybody knows your private key, they can easily able to withdraw all the fund which you have in your wallet. So you should never show your private key. In one of my test account, I have a lot of faucet. By mistake, I showed my private key, and I realized that some of you have withdrawn the entire faucet from that particular wallet. So from that, since then I have decided not to show the private key. So you have to keep it hide. So let's type. So I got my password. Now I have to click and hold, copy your private key and click on done. Once you copy that, come back to your code, and here you have to simply close this one, and here you have to come back in the contract and harded config file, and here you have to simply replace. So let me replace this very quickly. So finally I have done the replacement of my private key. Now we have to simply deploy our contract. So simply come back to the deploy, and this is the command we have to run. You can see this is what we have called Poly MOI. You can literally call whatever you want. I can simply call it Poly. It will work fine. But whatever name you give here, that's the same name you have to give here as well. So I'm going to take this entire command. I'm going to open my terminal, and I'm going to simply paste the command and hit enter. And right now I'm getting this harded initialization, but I don't want that. I'm into the wrong folder. That's why I'm getting this option. So first thing I have to do is I have to get into this particular folder in the contract folder. And right now I'm into the main directory. So I'll do this, copy, rename. I'll go cd and hit enter. So I'm into this particular directory in the updated code. Then I have to go into the contract. So I'll say cd contract contract. So I'm into the contract folder. Now I have to run the command. So I have already done the installation of the package. Make sure you have to install the packages, which we have already done. Simply copy this one, paste here, and here you can see it says that Polygon MOI network doesn't exist, but we have that configuration right up here in our project, but it's telling you this. And this is a part of development. You will encounter this error. And the reason why I have included this is that you have to know how you have to deal with this, because sometime you will get this error, sometime it will work, sometime it will fail. So the easiest way I will tell you to deploy the contract to the test network, you can use Remix ID. So let me show you the Remix ID one. So simply clear your terminal. Now close all of this, come back to your contract. This is the entire contract we have written. All you have to do is to simply copy this entire piece of code. Now come back to the browser and type Remix ID. Here you are, click on this and it will take you here, and you can easily able to interact with the Remix ID. I hope you guys know what Remix ID is. So I already have the Remix ID, so I will click on that, and here I have opened Remix ID in my project. You will see bunch of folder and file structure. This is the home by default things you will get. Now all you have to do is to come back here in the contract, and here you can create multiple file. You can see I have created multiple contracts. So I'll click on this new file and I'll create a new pay file. So I'll say real-estate.sol. Hit enter, and here we got our project. Now all I have to do is to simply paste the code which I have copied. Simply ignore this notification. It's simply telling you that you should never use existing code base when it's come to smart contracts. So click on confirm. Okay, and you can see our contract got compiled successfully. There is no issue we have. We got this green tick, means our contract compiled successfully. Now we have to simply deploy our contract. So to deploy, click here, come back here, and from here you have to select. So we're going to use MetaMask. So click on this injected provider MetaMask, and it's going to fetch the account automatically. So we're going to use the account number 2. Make sure you should have some fund. So here I'm using account number 1. You can use account number 2, any account you can use in which you have fund to perform the transaction. So this is the account which I'm going to use. It's connected successfully with the Remix ID. Now I can simply come back here, click on this, and that's the only contract we have, this real estate, and that's what I'm going to deploy. So all you have to do is to simply bring it up and click on this deploy, and it's going to make a call to a smart contract. It will open our MetaMask, and we have to simply click on confirm, and it will deploy our contract to MetaMask. So click here in the MetaMask. You will see the transaction is in the pending state. Once the transaction will complete, you will get the interface of your contract. So here our transaction went through. We have created our we have deployed our contract successfully. You can simply copy the address of your contract. You can come back here, you can type Polygon Explorer, and you can able to verify your contract. So click here and go back to MOI test, and you can paste the address and hit enter. You will see your contract deployed just now, 26 seconds ago. So it's working absolutely fine. It's deployed successfully. Now we can come back to the Remix ID, and if you click on this, you will get the entire interface of your contract, all the function, all the public variables we have defined. So you can literally interact with your contract. You can create property, you can buy property, you can add comment, you can add review. That's all you can do. If I click on this listing, this much is the listing fee. I hope you guys have followed the complete project, and that we have targeted that whenever the user will create a project, we are charging this much fund. So that's our commission. You can able to find all the details. So now what we have to do is we have to simply copy this address, open our project, close this one, close this one. Now we have to deal with the client side only because we have deployed our contract. Come back here in the constants, and here we have to simply replace our address. This is the address which we have deployed to Polygon. Now we have to get the ABI. So to get the ABI from Remix ID, you can simply come back here in the file section. You can go to artifact, and here we have this real estate. Click here, and this is the entire ABI of your contract. You can also use the same ABI which we have generated locally. Like the ABI we have generated locally, you can use the same one, unless or until if you not make any changes in the contract. So I'm going to use this ABI to show you that you can use this ABI as well. So copy that one. Now you can come back here. This is the old ABI. I'm going to simply select and delete and paste here. So this is the ABI. We got it from the Remix ID. So once you replace your ABI, once you get your address, now you have to pick the network. So we have deployed to the Polygon MOI. That's what you have to pass here. It will automatically configure the network in the MetaMask, and make sure you have to give the valid Pinata API key and secret key. Then you can able to upload, otherwise it will fail to upload. So that's the only thing you have to do. Once it's done, now only thing you have to do is to run the front end code. So open up your terminal. We are in the contract, so we have to get into the directory. So we are into this particular directory, updated one. We have to get into the client, cd client, hit enter. We are into the client, and now we have to simply start our application. Type npm run dev. So type npm run dev, hit enter. It's going to start the application on localhost 3000. You can simply copy that one, and you can come back to the browser. You can simply remove this because we don't need this. You can also remove this one, remove the faucet one, remove the RPC, and here we have the localhost 3000. Simply reload the page, and here our application got open. We are already connected with the application. If I come back here, if I click on this, if I go to the localhost, and the moment I will reload the page, it will automatically switch the network, automatically allow the user to switch the network, then they can interact with our application. And right now there is no property available. What if I delete this particular Polygon network? So I go back here, I'm going to simply come back here in that Polygon, I'm going to delete that. So if the user don't have this particular network in their MetaMask, but they want to interact with the application, they can simply reload the page. The moment they will come, it will open it, and it will automatically configure this network. Click on approve and click on switch network. So we are on the Polygon test network. Now we are ready to create our property. So to create, come back here, go back to create, click on this. We can select the property, click on upload image. It will take few seconds, and here we have uploaded successfully. You can give a name. You can come back here, you can select the type. So it's going to be housing. It will have a description. So I'm going to come back here in my blockchain coder. From here I'm going to get this text, paste here, then I can give the price. So I can give very little because I don't have much fund, because this time we're going to pay real test fund, so I don't want to do that. So click on this create, and it's going to make a transaction, and this time we are creating our property to actual Polygon test network. So click on confirm, and this transaction will take time because we are doing transaction on the Polygon test network. So it's in the pending state. When the transaction will complete, it will redirect to the author page. So just wait. And finally, the property is listed successfully. You can come back here and you can able to see this is the property we have created. You can click here and you can able to come back to the property detail page. You can able to find the image, all the details, every single thing is working fine. It looks absolutely great. So this is how you can deploy to the Polygon test network. And when you are testing on actual test network, you don't need to run hard hat. All you have to do is to use the actual address and the ABI, and user can interact with your contract. So when you will get the final source code, this is exactly code you will get. In that, I'm going to provide you this particular deployed contract address. So you can simply test from your end. For example, if I open this one, if I stop the application, for example, this is what you have to do. So for example, you got this code. I'll delete this one as well. I'll delete this node mall as well. So when you will download the final source code, this is what exactly you will get. So make sure to get into the folder, then get into the client and install the packages. Type npmi, hit enter, and it's going to install all the libraries which we have in our project. Once you install, you can straight away run the application. So we have installed all the libraries. Simply clear your terminal, type npm run dev. Once you do that, our application got started. Now you can come back to the browser. You can go to the home section and you can simply reload the page. The moment you will do that, you will see the property we have created. It's here because this data is listed on the Polygon test network. It will be there. So that's how you can build this project. Again, I will tell you, come back here and follow this complete project. In that, every single thing is explained extensively, that what exactly we have developed. We have so many videos. We have 25 videos. We have built one of the biggest project. So this will help you a lot. So make sure to follow the complete playlist. You will understand every single thing. So I hope you guys have understood that what we have coded and what are the updates we have done, and this time you will not have any issue. I have provided you all of this updated page which you can use it and you can modify it as per your brand. So that's the only thing from my end. If you want to take the final source code, you can simply come back here in the blockchain coder. And by the way, this is the course which I have launched. In that, we're going to build one of the biggest NFT marketplace which have multiple business models. So you will master complete Solidity programming language. You're going to learn about advanced Web3 setups. You're going to build multiple contract, all the thing which you will find here. You're going to have a couple of crash course of modern technologies. So everything you will master. You can come back to the source code section, and here you can able to find all the project we have developed on our channel. So here we have this real estate. Click on this get now. You can get it from the 5-minute source code, or you can click here and you can download the startup file and you can start following the entire project, which we have covered extensively right up here. So that's the only thing from my end. If you have any question, any doubt, do let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely try to help you in that. With that, I'm ending this video. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.